watching Marty's song right now. And I'm waiting for Marty's, like, cute little point. By the way, song very cute, by the way. I love it. I love it. Yeah. We got about 15, 20 seconds of latency on this, so. Oh. Oh. My mic is not muted, I guess.
So, hey, this is a crazy night. I mean, we've got like 6 people on here. Dietrich is like this trying to master like a lot of new open broadcast systems. Is that what it's called, Dietrich? I don't know.
Yeah,
but like,
so
we're talking like
we're doing a special episode today, obviously, and
this is Christmas.
We've had a late start, and we've already had some technical errors, but hopefully that's the last of them. But yeah,
it's holiday time, and we've got 6 people to talk with today. So I'm like, this is like a party. But yeah, so. Welcome to Coffee Tech Talk Tuesday with John and Marty and Marcus and Dietrich and Guillaume and Mildred on a nice early Tuesday evening, and we've got a lot to do today. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about coffee tech stuff, technology in a sense. I'd like it to open our minds to how we define what technology is and what it can be, and how we think about it. It can be
it's everything.
Right?
It's everything.
Right? Anything, everything.
Yeah.
For example. Having technical difficulties on a Coffee Tech Talk show is kind of expected, and working it out is even better. So thank you, Dietrich, for all that you do. Let's talk about last week, because we were trying to give away a brewer, and
we're going to do that this week.
And guess who's with us this week again?
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Marcus.
It's the little Christmas elf here. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Marcus. How's it going?
Going great. Happy holidays, y'all.
So you got a bona. We've got a bona vita to pick.
Sure do.
Oh, did you like that one?
Sorry. I'll give you that one.
That was a stretch.
That was good.
Oh my God. I'll have to edit that one out. Do it through my clips, but yeah, so we're gonna randomly generate a winner, right?
Yeah, thanks again to the wonderful folks at Bonavita, Laura Summers, for donating a Bonavita brewer for this great opportunity, especially this time of the year.
Yeah, so like, how many more of those can you get for us? Can we give away one like every week, or you got anything else you want to give away? Or I mean, while we're here, how about some Christmas spirit, some holiday cheer, whatever.
Always.
So
evergreen.
Right. And Marty gave us a nice intro.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, thank
if you want a copy of that, I think that we're selling them on CD for $20.99, or however much you want to spend. I don't know. Just send some money to Marty.
And single song.
Yeah, it was an expensive little bit.
We had to buy the copyright for it.
Yeah, Dietrich doesn't come.
It's just fun. It's just fun.
It is fun.
Marty and Tootie singing the hits.
Well, I have the number generator up whenever you guys are ready to do it. So just let me know the total numbers. What's it between 1 and what was the?
Well, wait, I don't know. Like we ran a little late, but I think the door is still open right now. Let me find out officially.
Marcus, he said pick a number between 1 and what?
Well, no, it was 102 comments.
102. So
we're just going to go with that.
All right. So out of the 102 comments we've had, we're going to pull this up on screen, and we're going to hit this random number generate 3 times. 1, 2, 3. All right.
I really wanted to have like one of those.
Wait, Marcus,
oh my gosh,
did you pick that number?
Marcus,
earlier?
you said 38, but we were like, no, we're going to randomly pick it. So 39. So you're pretty
39. John, do you want to tell us who won that?
I have to count through 39.
You have to count.
Someone else
39.
is not. Marcus, Marty, do you want to hold a conversation for a minute while I do this?
Hello, Marty. What are some of your other favorite Christmas carols?
Oh, I am working on some others. One of them that "O Come, Emmanuel."
Nice.
That's one that's kind of pretty. Lot of chords in it, a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds like never mind. I thought you were talking about bad joke. Never mind. Just go for it.
John, you've never stopped on your bad jokes.
But
Right?
yeah,
right.
There's some great ones out there that we've worked on over the years. Mary, Did You Know? That was one that's always fun, popular.
Is it the Pentatonics version? Because that one, I mean,
Kathy Mattea version.
Okay. Well,
Although pentatonic, I am a fan. Absolutely
yeah.
a fan.
39. Holy smokes, I got it. Someone says I need a new coffee pot, and it's Instagram now Maria at so now Maria, you win now, Maria.
Now Maria, now you've got a new coffee brewer.
Now
winning now.
We'll DM you on Instagram, Maria, and we'll get in touch with how to get that out to you. So
your account is private, but I will send you a message. I will follow you back, and if you get this message from Coffee Tech Talk Tuesday, if not, we'll go 38. But she's also 38, so then we'll have to go 37 and figure out another number. But well, Marcus, thanks so much. I mean, do you want to get out, or what are you doing? You got anything else going on? How are your pugs? We didn't talk about your pugs last time.
They're good. They're good.
Is it cold out though? What do you do with pugs when it's cold out?
Well, one of them, they kind of have all their own sweaters. One says "Bah Hum Pug" on it, of course, for the holiday season. The other one wears a diaper with holiday prints on it. So we're just all decked out here for the seasons, for sure.
Nice. Well, have a happy holiday season, and thanks for coming back.
Real quick, who all was involved in supplying that Bonavita? Last chance to give pats on the back for the people that stepped up.
The one and only Laura Summers with Bonavita USA. She sent her a nice text just as spur of the moment last week of saying, hey, how can we really kind of keep giving for the season? Laura stepped up right away and said absolutely. So Laura, the entire Bonavita team, thank you so much for donating that. And I think it's going to certainly make a big impact on the season. Maria's holiday season.
Gonna love it. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, it's also going to make another impact on, I totally forgot about this. You have to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't done it yet, it'll send $1 directly to GoFundMe, which is a great organization. We did an episode with them in the past, and they're just all over Instagram and all over the place. They're doing some great work and raising money to help baristas that have kind of struggled throughout this year. So we have Barista Magazine. Marcus and Marty and I have all come together, and we've all pitched in $500 a piece. So we're about to 1,500 tips to baristas. So we're going to continue to raise that money till the end of the year. We are at 209 subscribers, so we got a ways to go. It's like a stretch and a half goal. It's like a double, triple stretch. So yeah, but this is GoFundMe. Just take a look at it. If you're having difficulties pushing the subscribe button, and you don't want to do that, you can just go directly to their website, whatever it is, the .com place, and you just give them money. You don't have to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I mean, who really cares?
But let's make a big impact there.
It's making big. It's huge. So thank you so much. We've got another organization to talk about too, Marcus. But I'm not going to hold you on here. You got to go. I'll see you later.
Thanks so much,
Happy
Marcus.
holidays. Thank you, guys.
Thanks. So he's gonna hang out in the waiting room and enjoy all the stuff in there.
Cool.
But hey, so I had Jerry in Kansas City reached out to me, and he was talking about, hey, we're doing this project with the Barista KC, Hurricane Eta and relief for GoFundMe. So I just wanted a quick shout out to them for doing all their great work. And if you go on Instagram at Barista KC, you can go to their link tree on the first thing that says Hurricane Eta relief GoFundMe and check it out. So I wanted
a lot of love out there. A lot of love, sharing.
And so helping hand for Honduras. I think we're going to dedicate a whole episode to this in the future. Maybe talk to some folks that we know down there, because I've been kind of wanting to talk about Honduras a little bit more too. So
sure.
Who are those folks at the bottom? You know, is it the M and the Anthem and you know those guys, right?
Yeah. Marcel and Anthem, they
Nice.
bring in. Yeah, I don't.
I
see
nailed
the
it.
picture.
I got it. All right. Hey, well, here. This. What is this? What is this? It's a PowerPoint, but this is this is like a really bad photograph. I'm trying to get worse and worse. This is really pixelated, and I'm not sure if it's upside down or backwards or what. What machine is this?
A spring-loaded valve. It looks like in there.
Okay, we got to move on. This
yeah.
tough for you.
Help me out. Help me out here.
There you go.
Okay, now we've got a handle in that. You are talking about. I'm gonna jump to the chase. It's an E61 group head.
That's right. Which
mechanical.
machine is this one on?
Uh,
Trick question.
That's a good question because it's probably one of the most used designs that are out there. There's a lot of modifications. That is actually the patent design right there.
That's it, right there.
That's it. I've seen that.
It's only 3,230,974th patent, and it's the alternately seating valve. It sounds like a nice bathroom toilet or something.
Ernesto Valiente is the inventor of that. Patented in, and guess what? What year?
I don't know, 1984.
No, come on. It's a E61.
Oh, 1961.
I
was supposed to ask you that.
Yeah. No, hey, it's. I'm trying to throw you under the.
What's the E stand for? What's the E stand for?
Actually, it's kind of cool. I haven't known this all that long, but rumor has it that there was a total eclipse in 1961.
What? A total eclipse?
Yeah.
Like
you
that? With a globe and like the whole greatest eclipse?
You're on top of this. Yeah.
Right south of South Africa, right north of, well.
So how would an Italian guy be inspired by a South African eclipse?
I think it happens. I don't know. Are you asking, or do you know the answer to that?
I don't know.
I don't know the answer. Well, the E I think stands for eclipse, 1961, right? And
Yes.
and actually, maybe what was his name again? Who invented it?
Ernesto
Okay.
Valente.
So I think
I'm saying it right.
I think the E actually came from his first name.
I've never met the guy.
Was he close? Well, I don't know. Is he still around? I'm not sure. I mean,
It may be on his first name, but the rumor has it if you look it up and read stories, eclipse had something to do with it.
So these machines are pretty cool because they have like this. And, you know, I've never been into the prosumer, the professional consumer sort of at home higher end espresso machines. I just went, you know, right from the get go. It was La Marzocco's, right? The best, coolest machines because I'm getting paid as a barista and getting tips, and it's great. I'm loving it. I'm just like, this is easy. This is wonderful machinery. And then you think about this basic stuff and like, oh, it's just for home, and you know, I don't want to deal with that. And they say, oh, you pour water in the back. That must not be good because it's nothing compared to La Marzocco, which, well, I don't know. Whatever, Slayers, beautiful machines. But these things, when I had someone drop one of them off and it had a little bit of an issue, so I started, you know, digging into it. Here's the issue. And Marty, if you could tell me what I should do here. Look at that drop.
Okay, there's like a 25 piece. Now knowing you found, or you just lucked into this thing fixing itself. But there's a kit to rebuild those.
Everything I fixes itself.
But there is a kit. But you know, like any machine, it may just be a piece of calcium, and it's not a bad lesson to tear into one of those. You're not going to hurt it. And see what's in there.
Yeah, I think it was like when I did that, and we just talked a little bit about this. I asked you which part that might have been, because I had an inkling, because there's a lot of YouTube videos about this. So we're not going to go into like how this. If you really want to learn how this works, either ask Marty later on or go on YouTube and say like, how does E61 work? And you'll get these great videos.
Real quick, there's 3 valves in it. There's an upper valve. It's above that shaft that's being pushed up by a cam. That's the main valve that opens and closes the water flow through your coffee. But there's 2 other valves that are down below, and their purpose, number 5 on that picture. Exactly. That's your main valve and seat. That's probably what you had leaking. Did you have that out?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I did. I pulled that one out. I looked at it. The seating was a little rough, and I went on to espresso parts.com, and they happen to have one. There's 2 different versions, so they don't all work, because there's a lot of knockoffs of the patent because it's expired, right?
It has.
Like
it has.
all these different styles, but in general.
But I'm telling the truth, they're easy to get into, correct? Because there's just a big nut on the top. A lot of people call that the mushroom.
Oh, I thought you were going to call it the John Ferguson, the nut on the top. Because you called me a nut before. I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there.
Love your dad jokes.
All right, moving on. Yeah.
Comes out and it's there. But the 2 valves down below, let's see, number 10 and number 7.
Right.
Number 10 and 7. Those that 7 opens first, and then it relieves on out. And what the whole purpose of that is to relieve the pressure off the top of the puck, so that you can quickly pull your portafilter out and be ready for the next customer.
And that is basically what the back flush, where then all the water disengages into the back of the drip tray, right?
Exactly.
So in a sense, like all these E61s, all these consumer, like these home models have a back flush systems where you can clean them in a similar way like you do the back flushing, right?
Sure. And the only reason that we have to back flush is that we had to, Ernesto, he knew this, that if you didn't have that relief valve system that pushes coffee oils up in there, your portafilter would kind of explode a little bit at the end of your cycle. Unless you were really patient and let it. And so you're putting coffee oils up in that path, and we've got to have some way to clean that out, short of tearing it all apart all the time. And that's what back flushing is all about.
And I'll tell you this now. I'm going to backtrack a little bit about what I think about these machines, because I've kind of now I'm just starting to explore this as far as like your home models, and you can find a decent machine for your home for a couple drinks a day. You can't like use this for like a pretty high volume office, but there are a lot of options out there. If you just look for the E61 group head, and what's that little handle on the side? What does that do? This one? It's like you pick it up. Yeah, and it allows for like a little bit of pre-infusion in the sense of like pre-wetting or something like that. And then it fully on engages, pushes something in the back, like the electronics in the back, and then engages that pump, right?
Could not have said it better myself.
Yeah, you could. Hey, so what's this? Okay, we got to speed through this because we've got Mildred and Guillaume sitting in the waiting waiting room. We also have Marcus in the waiting room. They're all chatting it up and eating all of our food. So we gotta get them out of there so they don't. But who are these guys? What is this about?
Wow,
who's that nut in the back? Not the nut in the front, the nut in the back.
Well, there's a long-haired freaky guy back there. I think that's John Ferguson.
That's me. That's right.
Yeah, he's in front of Marty Curtis. He's the other Marty.
Yeah,
I'm the good-looking Marty.
Hey, there's a Tracy Allen over there. And
there's a little Tracy Allen.
We've got some fame. We got some nice. And then who are all these folks? There's another. Here's Tracy Allen again, just popping up everywhere.
Exactly, and I recognize that place.
Oh my gosh, we've got Ben over to the right, and we've got Dean in there. Who else we got?
You know what that location is? Love all those people. That was the inaugural, big word for me.
Yeah.
2 grader class for our lab.
Coffee Quality Institute. That's what we're talking about.
And I really felt like I lived that week through them, because if you've ever gone through a Q grader testing week, you know how stressful and the roller coaster ride that's all about.
Yeah,
and I know you have.
What is Q grading all about? Anyway, I just want to like briefly talk about this. This is the cupping table in Colombia at La Palma y El Tucán. And I was there a while ago. They have some amazing, phenomenal coffees that are just kind of, blowing minds all over the world. But this is a 5-cup session with a rinse cup on top. And this is international standard for cupping protocol, right? And this is what the Q process quality, Coffee Quality Institute really has, pushed and developed and has, spread across the globe to have better communication, regardless of language. You have the language of coffee, and it's breaking down the barriers, and we're all calibrated.
Exactly, and not to make it too simple, but if I was to boil it down from my perspective and what I learned about the Q grader's goal, or let's go with that. The goal is that whether you're in Kansas City, Missouri, or Colombia, or Ethiopia, if you're evaluating coffees and say people are in all three of those locations, the goal for the Coffee Quality Institute would be that all of those people grading those coffees would agree that they would be able to quantify and verbalize really close the evaluation of all those of that same coffee in those huge, vast, different areas.
And it works. It honestly works. So I've taken that those skills that I've learned through challenging myself to get through getting a Q grader once, not if not twice, honestly, and then calibrate it again. But traveling abroad, going to Colombia, Peru, Burundi, Nicaragua, El Salvador, a Cup of Excellence, all over the place. We every one of them, everybody's utilizing these skills that we've learned through that process. On the left, you see a Cup of Excellence. I think that was a Nicaraguan. On the right, I'm in Ecuador, cupping some coffees at a exporting station outside of Lojas, right? But everybody there, every once in a while, I find like a kindred spirit that's also a Q grader that I don't communicate so well with language, but on the cupping table.
You agree?
Yeah.
You go, yes.
Like numbers are easy. You're just like, yeah, it tastes like that. So here we are. This is in Peru, and here we are at Aprocasi in the northern part of Peru, in San. Actually, I'll let Guillaume on the left here talk about this a little bit more. And the lady in the middle is a Q grader, and then I'm on the right, and we were like Q grading, and we were calibrated. I was like, thank you, CQI, for calibrating us across the globe, because, I remember prior to this, that wasn't possible. I'd go in there and we would have a completely different way of looking at things. So CQI has gone a little bit further. They've gone into Q processing now this year. So I've been really fascinated with Q processing. This is going above and beyond the cupping table and getting out into the field and looking at post-harvest processing, harvesting selection, looking at like soil quality, and every little aspect of the technology that goes into, creating a cup of coffee that will be of higher quality. And then how do you then, and then we're applying the Q grading stuff. So,
well, John, you know a lot more about that than what I do as far as the processing. Has it grown and evolved as much as what the rest of the coffee world has, and say in the last 10 years? Has the processing side gotten
That's a good
more technical?
question. Well, yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, we've gotten into like lactic fermentation, carbonic maceration, and anaerobic fermentation. Those are a couple new words that I've learned, or phrases that I've learned the last couple of years. And the qualities that are coming out of that are pretty interesting. It's a whole conversation of like the natural process where everybody's like, oh boy, that's a little too fruity. That's a little bit too much blueberry in your face. But right. And today we have Mildred, who has gone through this Q processing program. So I wanted to ask her about it. And and awesome. it's gonna be fun because we have Guillaume and Mildred. Mildred is from Colombia and lives in Sierra Nevada, Santa Marta, in the north, and Guillaume is in Quebec, in Canada. So we have a short 2-minute video of Mildred and where she and her organization in Colombia. So
what a special treat that we've got tonight to have her with us. That's great.
And there will be a language barrier, so Guillaume's going to be translating for us. But I wanted everybody to get a feel for like what it's like to talk coffee in Spanish and English with the translator. And this is what it's these are what conversations are like, right? Like not everything's nice and pretty and everything's like perfectly like translated for you. You just kind of have to like work it out and smile. And there's like this human connection that really makes it easy. It's so easy. People communicate way better. So anyway, let's go to that video.
A mediados del 2001, la Red Ecolsierra adquirió vida jurídica. Cerca de un centenar de fincas la conformaban. Hoy cuenta con más de 350 fincas certificadas en producción orgánica y comercio justo, mientras otras 50 fincas avanzan en su proceso de conversión hacia la agricultura orgánica, integradas en 23 grupos de base. Las fincas están ubicadas en 72 veredas de 4 municipios irrigadas por las aguas de los ríos Manzanares, Piedras, Gaira, Toribio, Córdoba, Río Frío, Sevilla, Tucurinca, Aracataca y Fundación. El café de sombrío, la investigación de alternativas a los químicos nocivos, la creación de zonas de conservación dentro de las unidades productivas, el manejo de subproductos como la pulpa y el agua de lavado del café, y la organización de viviendas e instalaciones son un modelo que se mantiene y se comparte como atributo del agroecosistema cafetero de las fincas asociadas a la Red Ecolsierra. La participación de mujeres y hombres en el trabajo social articulado con el tiempo se ha convertido en una estructura empresarial sólida que se propone como legado para las y los jóvenes de estas familias.
Nosotros no tenemos empleados externos, entonces esto es algo bien importante porque estamos trabajando y le estamos creando espacios a nuestros hijos que salen a las ciudades, se educan y de esta manera nos apoyan a nosotros en el campo y a través de eso están en nuestra formación caficultora.
Por ejemplo, vemos los hijos de los asociados, los nietos trabajando en sus establecimientos, como en compras de café, como en sus localidades. En fin, son oportunidades muy grandes las cuales nos motivan cada día más para seguir adelante y darnos cuenta que como seres humanos, como personas, podemos cada día motivarnos y ser más en la vida.
Bienvenidos todos. Welcome everyone. Guillaume,
Hola.
welcome.
Hi.
Mildred, welcome. Guillaume, you are we're so excited to have you here. We already showed the picture of you and I in I think it was San Ignacio, right?
Exactly, in
Right,
Cajamarca.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, cupping some coffees with another Q grader from Aprocasi. So that was a wonderful trip. And in that video we just showed, I don't know if you caught it, but there was a younger Guillaume in that film. By like a
cameo, little cameo for Gil.
Yeah, and so yeah, I'm glad to have you here, and I would like to introduce Mildred. So welcome to the show, Mildred, and Guillaume. Would you be so kind as to help translate as much as possible? So first off, welcome, Mildred.
Yeah, bienvenido, Mildred. And just excuse me, everybody. I'm speaking French, and then I learned English, and I learned Spanish, and then so I translate into languages that are not my mind. So I'll do my best.
It's perfect. It's perfect. Hey, that's a challenge, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I do have. Let's go ahead and there you are. Ecolsierra on your hat there. So let's a little bit of background. Like, how did we meet, and when did you first make it to Colombia and meet Mildred?
Yeah. So you and I, John, we've met because we're both interested into trees through your Arbor Day Foundation involvement and Ecolsierra's agroforestry project development. So since many years, since 2010, we're into this, and we have been trying to do something in Colombia for a long time. And in 2017, we went across the road of Ecolsierra and Victor, and the general manager of Ecolsierra, and we have started discussing about doing a project with them. So this is where I came across Mildred, and so I thought it was interesting to have her on your show. Yep. Yeah,
and so Red Ecolsierra, what kind of organization is this? And maybe Mildred could maybe answer that and maybe translate back to us.
Mildred, ¿qué tipo de organización es la Red Ecolsierra?
Es una red de productores asociados de 320, en este momento tenemos 405 familias certificadas en el programa orgánico.
So it's like a red is for network. So it's a network of producers. And so they have now over 400 families certified organic.
Tenemos 22 asociaciones de base, mas no somos empresas de segundo nivel. Somos asociaciones de base que están agrupados para poder tener más comunicación o mayor cercanía a todos nuestros asociados.
So they are like this network grouping 22 smaller organizations, and they are not what we used to say like second level organization, but they are organized that way to keep like the closest communication with their smaller groups and to their families.
And I think that there's something that's you know, that really intrigued me was Mildred's participation and involvement of not only being a Q grader, is that correct, but also participating in the CQI Q processing. Is that correct? And when did that happen? When did she take the Q first off, become a Q grader, and then second off, when did she start with the Q processing?
Okay. Entonces John quiere saber un poco de su historia, de cuando empezaste con el copying, con de ser catadora y después de ir con el Q processing y tal vez un poco del por qué, ¿no?
Bueno, yo inicio mi proceso con Red Ecolsierra hace 18 años. Inicialmente formo parte de todos los órganos directivos y es donde empiezo a esmerarme a conocer el mundo del café, porque realmente el café es un mundo muy maravilloso.
So she started with Red Ecolsierra for 18 years now. So from like more on the organization side, and then it's like coffee is a big world.
He recorrido todo el mundo que puede decir no uno en el mundo del café porque vengo desde la parte de productora, soy hija de productor, nací en Sierra Nevada. De ahí empiezo todo el proceso de asociativo con Red Ecolsierra, hago parte de sus órganos directivos, paso a ser parte de un punto y de acopios, donde empiezo a acopiar el café a nuestros productores cuando ya vimos la necesidad de acopiar nuestro propio productor y hacer la cadena de custodia de ese producto que hoy se ofrece al mundo.
So she's grown from like a coffee field. So she grew up in a coffee field, and her parents are producers. And then she got involved into the organization and got into a collection center. Because they needed to have these collection center to get to receive the coffee from their members, and then develop all the value chain from the field to the exportation.
I'll unmute my mic as well. If she wants to take a little bit shorter answers as well, so you can translate as well, you can totally tell her that as well.
We're working on it.
Yeah, no worries.
I have a question. We're back on. We're good? Okay, so I saw this photo of Mildred. Thank you for sending it, Mildred. Is that a honey process? What kind of coffee are you sorting in this photograph?
Entonces John vi esta foto y quería saber qué tipo de café es eso, ¿no? A él le parece un honey.
Es un honey producido en mi finca. Es un proceso de estos procesos que llevo 5 años experimentando cuando decidí meterme al mundo de los procesos. Ese es los primeros honey que estamos produciendo de esta cosecha 2020-2021.
Okay.
So this is coffee from her field. So she, it's been 5 years since she's been testing with honey processing. And these are like the first coffees from this year harvest.
And so how did they cup? What's the cup score? What did you get out of this one?
¿Cómo fue la taza?
Bueno, en este momento le dimos 87 puntos, teniendo en cuenta que fue uno de los primeros. Tiene ese honey que está en la mesa, tiene 98 horas de fermentación, tiene la doble fermentación porque está en cereza y luego lo colocamos después de despulpado. De ahí sí lo llevamos al sol directamente, 3 días, y luego lo empezamos a secar a la sombra.
Oh, see, I love this because I understand everything, but I feel sorry for everybody who speaks English who hasn't taken the time to learn Spanish yet. But Guillaume, go ahead and translate as much as you can, because I really like that explanation. That was good.
Yeah. So they have coffee at 87, and this is our like the first coffee of the year, so it's should be like going up. So that's 98 hours of fermentation. So it's a double fermentation process. So first they leave it like in the cherry, and then they took off the pulp, they depulp it, and they leave it for 3 days more fermentation before going into the drying process. So it's
and I see only 3 cups here. Why not 5? Can you ask her?
Tiene la pregunta por qué están haciendo así catación a 3 tazas en vez de 5.
Esta foto fue tomada en un concurso de la taza dorada. Fue un concurso realmente que se hizo ese concurso fue de la CLAT. Estábamos evaluando cafés de todas las organizaciones certificadas por comercio justo.
So that was like a conquest, like competition, and so from CLAC, and so she was doing like what they were used to do in this competition.
Absolutely. Hey, I only use 2, so you can tell it. Yeah, I only solo uso 2.
Dice que algunas veces él toma solamente 2 tazas. Sí.
I mean, it's not 5, but it should be 5 all the time. But it depends on what you're cupping worn with. Anyway, this next and there's a Probat roaster also right behind you. Do you also roast coffee? Have you taken the time to learn the trade of roasting coffee too?
Entonces, como él vea la grande Probat por atrás, bueno, ¿están tostando grandes volúmenes de café?
Estamos tostando, ya estamos ofreciendo el tostado en origen. Tenemos clientes que están llevando el café desde aquí tostado. Entonces, aquí tenemos la posibilidad de armar y trabajar en equipo con el cliente final y armamos la curva o le armamos el perfil que el cliente desea. Se lo maquilamos con todo el embalaje, la bolsa y la exportación que también se la estamos realizando.
So they offer to some clients in Europe and US like these origin roasted coffees. So they do all the process and they send it like prepackaged in small bags, and they do this with some clients they have.
And then this is coffee for a lot of people who may not know that. This is a coffee that's being dried on a raised bed, is that right? And is this a natural process then?
No, entonces eso es un natural sobre mesas.
No. Si les cuento qué es eso.
What is that?
Esa es una cáscara que la estamos utilizando para hacer el té.
Cáscara.
Sí, cómo no.
La estamos secando para hacer el té, la deshidratamos y está quedando un té muy delicioso. Al igual estamos haciendo todos los experimentos.
And so this is like just the cáscara. This is like the pulp, the exterior like of the fruit, and so they dry it and you can have like a great tea out of this.
Right. So like a natural processed coffee or a cherry that comes off of a tree that is nice, ripe, and red, after it kind of dries out a little bit, will kind of turn this really dark purple. And then, cáscara is just the skin and the fruit on the outside of the parchment that is then on these raised beds still, so the air can flow underneath and on top, so it kind of gets dried out. But it does make great tea. Marty, have you had cáscara?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm a fan.
How do you say how do you say it in Kansas City? Cáscara?
Cascara.
Cascara?
Yeah, I'm sure we're saying it wrong.
Well, not in
English. We're from Kansas City.
We're fine. Yeah, but it's pretty good, right? Have you experimented, like different types of drinks with that? I remember it was kind of popular for a while in barista competition.
A little bit. I'm fortunate enough to get to go to the local shops that are really good at experimenting and coming up with different recipes and different drinks from this. So yeah, I've had quite a journey with it, just living that life through the local cafes here.
Do you know what kind of coffee varieties the cáscara came from or off of? Was it Catamor cáscara, or was it like, and what makes the best cáscara? And maybe we could ask Mildred if there's a yeah, Marty, you want to ask? Yeah.
Go ahead, John. John, you said it well. So
yeah, Guillaume, what do you think?
if you could ask her, I do have a couple
Could you ask
questions
Mildred
for her.
if there's a flavor difference between Catamor and what's popular in Colombia? I guess you could ask that. Castillo.
¿Qué diferencias ves en las diferentes cascaras con variedades? Si los catimores o los nacional o las variedades afectan mucho al tipo de sabor que sale de la cáscara?
Sí afecta, afectan, hay varios agentes que afectan. Uno es la variedad, porque hay más que todo son los azúcares que se encuentran en la cáscara y los que vamos a aprovechar de ella. Y la manera como le realizamos el proceso. Tenemos que mirar que no la debemos exponer al sol. Se hace un proceso más bien de deshidratación y con toda la inocuidad, como ustedes miran en la foto, que no vaya a tener ningún agente patógeno que llegue a dañarla.
So yeah, different varieties have different sugar levels. And so this is the first thing that affects the taste, and then it's a process. If they get the good the good drying, the hydration, and to prohibit it to have bacterias, and the innocuity is really important into this process as well.
And from this Q processing course, there's a couple questions that I have. But Dietrich, you have a quick hand up.
Yeah. I just was curious as just a question for Guillaume or Mildred or John or any of you guys. With these cascara teas, I've seen them pop up as well. But is there regions in which they're pretty normal and pretty popularized? I mean, what are the more popular regions where these teas are going to?
Where they're being consumed?
Yeah.
Guillaume, do you know that? I mean, I would say in the United States, it's pretty much all over, but it's still kind of a niche market, I would say.
Yeah, pretty niche, like in those small coffee shops or small roasters, they offer the cascara.
But what I wanted to bring the conversation to on this is there's a lot of things that have been learned through the processing of coffee in the last 20 years. Mildred, how has the Q processing program benefited your operations?
Entonces, la pregunta aquí es de cómo ha beneficiado el programa de Q processing a las operaciones de la red.
Bueno, nos ha beneficiado en el sentido de que más que la certificación uno valida todos los conocimientos y la experiencia que tienen los procesos. Y eso se le replica al productor, porque cuando les hablaba de los 22 asociaciones base, es la manera como nos queda más fácil de llegar a los productores y ahí mirar qué productores y qué podemos irle transmitiendo en sus mejoras, en las fermentaciones. Ya uno tiene un conocimiento base y con una experiencia de que al igual lo vamos a llevar hasta la mesa de catación para poderlo retroalimentar y así poder mejorar la tasa generalmente o el perfil general por zona. De esa manera ya tenemos perfiles por zona, por finca, por altura.
Excellent.
So over the certification they get, they can go to producers and help them improve the processing. And from the basic knowledge that the producers they know what they do, but you can improve the quality, improve the profiles, and adapt this depending on the zone, the altitudes, the every details they can get out of the place they produce the coffee and get the best quality as possible.
And I understood that one of the benefits here is learning the regional differences, the microclimates and the way that coffee can change. Was there a lot of information about how different coffee varieties interact with the soil in Sierra Nevada? The different types of varieties like Castillo or what's the other, Nacional, or what's the other one that's in Colombia that was very popular? So anyway,
no.
Yeah.
Entonces, hay un conocimiento como una relación entre el tipo de suelo y las variedades que encontrarán en la Sierra Nevada.
Sí, hay una relación directa. De hecho, las primeras tazas y quizás el café único de Sierra Nevada es eso, el origen que tiene, que es una de las sierras más altas o de los picos más altos que tenemos, la única sierra en el mundo que tiene las brisas del mar de manera directa y las variedades que estamos produciendo bajo sombra. El 90% de nuestra producción es bajo sombra. Tenemos una sola cosecha al año que también nos hace únicos. Entonces, con todas estas potenciales que tenemos, nuestro café no es igual a ningún otro que se produce en el país.
So she's saying that like there's a close relation, and especially like because like Sierra Nevada is really close to the sea, so you can get those coffee in really high altitude, but those coffee almost have like they also have like the breeze from the sea, and this affects the cup. And also 90% of the coffee produced in La Red is produced under shade, so this affects as well the quality in the cup.
I mean, talk about a segue. I was going to go there to the whole shade growing, la sombra, right? But before that, what is the most popular type of coffee variety that is being grown?
¿Qué es la variedad más popular de la zona?
And why?
¿Y por qué?
Bueno, ahorita tenemos los castillos. Y el por qué es porque es resistente a la roya, que fue algo que nos acabó en un momento la sierra. También tenemos variedad Colombia y tenemos algo de típica.
Típica.
Sí.
No. So Castillo because of its resistance to rust, and Colombia and típica.
And has rust continued to be a major issue in Sierra Nevada?
¿Sigue un grande problema la roya todavía?
No, ya hemos superado esa etapa, ya no tenemos pues inconvenientes con la roya porque el 90% en este momento son variedades resistentes.
Yeah. So they went through because like 90% of the varieties they have now are resistant to rust.
And was the northern part of Colombia at all like affected by any of the hurricanes this year?
Was there any this is where I'm getting messed into.
In English. That's fine. I can't
asking
even
the question in English.
Hurricanes, I don't know.
Hubo, ¿cómo se dice?
Bad weather. I don't know. Hurricane.
Huracano, como, ¿cómo se dice eso? Altos vientos. I'm just hurricane. Huracán. ¿Hubo huracán este año o problemas de meteo así?
No, o sea, pues aquí llamamos en los coletazos de los huracanes que llegan, pero la sierra realmente nos protege mucho. O sea, no hemos vivido el tema fuerte, aunque nos afecta el cambio climático, no nos afecta igual que al resto del país.
Okay. So they are like really protected by this chain of mountains. So it protects them from both like these hurricanes and as well, they are not as much affected as the rest of Colombia by climate change because of this mountain.
And I'll comment on that too. I've seen in different places in Honduras, there's even certain locations where you're higher up in elevation, a little bit more secluded from the coastal areas, that there's certain sense of there's a little bit more protection because of the type of environment and the microclimate. And I think it's very similar to Sierra Nevada. But so that being said, I think a part of that is the retention of these type of tree forest canopies that are really helping add some of that protection. Why do they still grow 90% of their coffee within these forested areas? Wouldn't it be more productive to chop it all down? And obviously, it's I'm being facetious here.
Yeah.
But what's the real value that trees play in in production of coffee?
Bueno, aquí hablando de producir bajo sombra, la pregunta es, bueno, la pregunta dura es ¿por qué no cortar todos los árboles y producir más, no tener más volumen? ¿Qué tiene como interacción, ¿no? Los árboles en los sistemas productivos?
Bueno, en el caso de sierra, pues se ha vuelto como natural de siempre el producir bajo sombra. De hecho, lo que se hace es que se regula la sombra, pero por tradición nunca se ha cortado toda la arbolización que tenemos. Siempre manejamos el guamo, que es la base como de las sierras, que se llama el guamo, es el que tenemos siempre mezclado con el café.
So they call it like the guamo, which is like the natural forest. It's and this is not the first time I hear that, is that they always have been producing coffee in forested areas. They always been producing this that way, and it's the traditional way of producing coffee. So it's like a no-brainer. They do it like that because they have been always doing it like that way.
And of course, you know, I'm going to advertise a little bit about this conversation that you and I had several times over this year, about 3 or 4 times, right? I don't know. We've recorded with the National Coffee Association. I think I've done the SCA lecture series with some folks from Ecolsierra also. Yep. And then most recently, we did another talk with the director of Shade Grown Coffee, which is a film. And if you go search on YouTube for a live panel discussion, you can learn a lot more about the benefits and the roles that trees play and the technology behind that. I mean, this is a management system that is, it can get pretty technical, and it is not just, you know, everything can grow under the same tree at the same elevation, right? And so what are some of those points that we talk about in the panel discussion? Here it is. Here's myself and Guillaume and Alexander.
That's not my best photo, man.
I'm sorry. I just clipped like something or other real quick. But,
yeah. Okay.
But I'm thinking, like, does Mildred see like this also? Like you see up on top, reduction of production costs, shade for workers, reforestation. Are all of these types of benefits something that we just want to feel good about, or is there some actual, you know, return on the investment of these trees that Mildred and the people who are harvesting coffee can say, yes, this is true. We're not just, you know, like trying to pull at heartstrings here. We need to do this.
No. Entonces, Mildred, estamos enseñando una discusión que tuvimos un poco más hace unos meses sobre los beneficios de la agroforestería y de producir bajo sombra, pero encima de esos beneficios, ¿qué son porque a veces la gente piensa que tenemos que promocionar eso, pero encima de esos beneficios, ¿qué trae como beneficios para ustedes de producir bajo sombra?
Bueno, o sea, producir nosotros bajo sombra, sí o sí tenemos que hacerlo porque nosotros tenemos, el verano nuestro es muy largo. ¿Y qué nos favorece a nosotros? O sea, nosotros en la sierra tenemos mucha agua, somos ricos en agua, ricos en fauna, ricos en flora, o sea, además de tener la arbolización que tenemos, y tenemos las adiciones que vienen, y eso nos...
We have a little bit of a lag, but that's okay. Yeah. I think, would you translate what
yeah, so she was saying about the fact that they have a really long summer, so they need those trees, and they have a lot of water. So as well, like I think she was about to say that the roots protect the soil from erosion because of the lots of water, the rain they had. Mildred, se cortó un poco cuando estabas hablando de que tienes como toda esa fauna, mucha agua.
Sí, o sea, les decía, o sea, sí o sí debe de existir la sombra porque el periodo de verano es muy largo. Y lo otro es que se hace mucha equidad, al ver mucha fauna, hace la equidad entre la fauna y la flora, ya que el entorno se hace rico en agua, rico en aves, rico en todas las especies que tenemos.
So yeah, they really need it because like what they call summer is the time where the temperature is really high. So they need to protect the coffee trees, and they have like really rich flora and fauna in this region. They just need to protect it, and this is like a way of producing, but like hand in hand with nature.
And I think it's kind of interesting, Marty, if you look at this this little cartoon photograph, up here, it talks about benefits of agroforestry. And I'm thinking of like looking at schematics of an espresso machine, all the parts that you need to make something work.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
It all kind of holds itself together. It's an ecosystem.
Right. It's a very technical ecosystem that if you think about coffee technology, this is something that often people don't think about as being technical. It's just like, oh, everything just grows, naturally or something like that.
That's a great analogy.
That's my analogy. That's why we're on Coffee Tech Talk, because we're gonna expand people's minds and to be like the root system of a tree is way more complex than any of the fanciest espresso machine that's ever been made and probably ever will be made until and please prove me wrong. I'll get some other people out there to just say about the root systems of a tree and those mushrooms. My God, those are crazy. I don't know. Anybody want to comment on that one? I just leave it there. Guillaume?
Just leave it there. Hey, I did have a couple questions. 18 years, Mildred, 18 years with Red Ecolsierra. What's been the biggest challenge? What's been the toughest part of that?
Mildred, de los 18 años que estás involucrado en la red, ¿cuáles son los más grandes desafíos que han pasado?
Los más grandes desafíos fue tener la custodia sobre toda la producción que nosotros tenemos, porque al iniciar el proceso lo iniciamos bajo la tutoría de Federación, porque de hecho fue el que nos ayudó y nos impulsó a nosotros a salir adelante. Y el reto fue cuando nosotros empezamos a empoderarnos de nuestro proceso al límite de llegar a tener la exportadora nosotros mismos dentro del proceso. Y eso nos hemos empoderado de tal manera que hoy ya en calidad llevamos el otro reto, es tener la sectorización y la segmentación de nuestra calidad. O sea, no esperamos que un tercero sea el que disponga de nuestra materia prima.
So it's all about like the first step from I think I try to translate the good word, but like the custody, like in Colombia, there's a lot of coffee going through the federation, and like passing from this from selling through the federation to creating their own exporting facility, let's say. And so this has been a big challenge. And then it's quality. So now they are more into this, like segment all the different qualities and different products to keep growing.
How many? Oh, go ahead, Marty.
As a follow-up.
Otro reto ha sido acercar el cliente final al productor. O sea, hemos roto todos los intermediarios y tenemos el acercamiento del tostador, del barista que llega hasta el origen, hasta el productor, a su finca, a mirar cómo está produciendo el café.
And the other challenge is to getting closer to the final buyer. So let's say the roaster, the barista, to having them into their coffee fields and cut more like the intermediaries and in between, and having this discussion in direct.
Really, that's great. As a follow-up, in 18 years, what's been the most joyous part of being a part of their not-for-profit organization? What's brought her the most joy?
Siguiendo los desafíos, ¿cuáles fueron los momentos más felices de ser como una organización, una red de pequeños productores?
No todos, o sea, yo pienso que lo más felices no son, siempre somos bendecidos en ese momento. Los retos cuando se ven cumplidos todos los días que se sube un escalón, se quiere subir otro, Ahorita mismo somos la primera organización en el país certificada en equidad de género. Es la única organización rural. Otro reto, otro que hemos vivido es que hemos sobrevivido a todos los agentes de la violencia que se ha vivido, que es algo en el país que también se ha vivido, y nosotros hemos sobrevivido a todas esas etapas. Y todos los días nuestra organización enfrenta retos. O sea, nunca somos más felices, siempre esperamos la felicidad de la buena mano de nosotros y de Dios.
So there is always like challenges, it never stops, but they party for like small wins they get from time to time. And one of those is that they have recently got like the first gender equality organization in this area. So as well, they always manage to escape the violence that we as Canadians and from people from the north, we hear from Colombia, like all this violence that went through. They always manage to get all their people safe.
That's excellent.
And I do have one question for Mildred as well. Is what was the moment where she kind of realized that this was the career that she wanted to get involved with?
¿A qué momento, Mildred, has realizado que sí quiero hacer mi vida en café, como a nivel de carrera?
¿En qué momento decido? Hace 11 años decidí seguir mi vida en el café, porque había iniciado el proceso de productora, pero ya decidí especializarme en el mundo y ofrecerle el servicio a mis asociados, sobre todo a mi empresa. En ese momento decido hacerlo profesionalmente. Hoy soy la jefe de calidad, hago todo el control de la calidad de los cafés que se exportan y los que aún vendemos en el país y los que se maquilan dentro de la organización.
So it's been 11 years when she, from being a producer herself, she decided I want to offer those services to all the members of the Red, and she became the chief of quality, and so all the coffee that passing through the organization is under her quality control, quality check, and I think she's pretty proud of this.
Well, I have a very important question, and I think it's probably one of the most important questions because, coffee is a business. It's also a life. And I want to know, I need to get some samples. So how do I get some samples of some honey processed coffees, or I want the best coffee on the table? Could I explore some of those samples? And how do we get in touch with you, Mildred?
Entonces, Mildred, John tiene la pregunta más importante. Él quiere sus muestras de tus cafés, de tus zones. Y cómo entramos en contacto con la red, ¿no? Si estamos interesados en su producto.
Bueno, en contacto con la red a través de Ecolsierra, el equipo comercial maneja todo el tema del envío de la muestra, se perfila y se le envía la muestra del que desee, sean lotes honey o sean lavados o sean procesos, porque al igual tenemos no solo el mío, sino el de muchos productores.
So through the red, they can select the profile you want, and they can get you coffee from various producers, not only from her field.
And I got to say, Guillaume, this is part of what I lean on you to do also, as far as your organization, as far as ElevaFinca, and a little bit, just maybe touch base a little bit on that. And I think we're at it. We're over time.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely worth it. So, right. And so, ElevaFinca, what is your role in this scenario? And a lot of people don't know a lot about the supply chains, how different it can be in so many different scenarios. Like, I'm not getting in a bus and driving down to Colombia to pick up some coffee. There's a very important people along the way that help select and organize and talk about how do we get samples and the right ones for the right place. It's and for the right program, right? So.
Yeah, so as like Ecolsierra, we have created this brand Eleva Finca to support our field partners like the Red Ecolsierra and our fellow partners in Peru, where we have agroforestry project. We support small farmers to transition from degraded lands to agroforestry systems. So we bring microcredit support and everything to do all this stuff. But at the end, we need to support them sell the product. So we have a sales team on the field, and that can help like buyers like you, like we did with Arbor Day Coffee, to find the right coffee that you need, and to get you the samples you want, and like manage all the paperwork for exportation and everything, because that's a long value chain.
And I will say this, like I remember there's one co-op I never went to before outside of High End. It was Humar.
And Palto.
Yeah, and that's when I really had that dawned on me. This is a special place, and also because of Jeff Taylor, he had already bought it like 5 years ago. I'm like, oh, this must be a good coffee. Because like, I mean, Marty, I don't know if you ever had Humar coffee. It's like JUMRP.
Yep.
But I remember that PTs had it for a special time, and so I went down in Peru, and I was like, so where are these micro lots is Humar? So it's. So yeah, there's so much great coffee out there. It's just a matter of finding it and finding the right price at the right supply chain. And I can't wait, Mildred, to taste some coffee from Sierra Nevada. If I have not already, I will retaste it again. Guillaume, did you ever send any to me last year? Was that?
No, not from them. Because,
all right, so this is new for me.
We just recently began the
harvest for this year.
The harvest. So yeah. Mildred, vamos a mandar algunas muestras al amigo John, ¿no?
Ok, claro. Muchas muestras. Muchas muestras. Estamos apenas iniciando el buen proceso.
And I want to like communicate to everybody who's watching this that this is kind of like how this works. This is how it goes, right? I mean, like you find a partner like Guillaume, or become fluent in Spanish and buy your own plane ticket and just kind of walk off the plane and try to find somebody, or use a network and do some history and just do some research and find the right place for the right purpose, for what you're looking for, Marty. There's like, if you're looking for the best coffee on the planet, it's probably in Colombia, to tell you the truth. Never mind.
Okay, here comes the emails. Here comes all the emails.
Tell Mildred, John dice que probablemente el mejor café del mundo es de Colombia.
Ethiopia. Etiopía.
Claro, por supuesto.
Sí,
¿no?
sí. Con procesos podemos potencializar mucho.
Sí. It's all about process. Eh?
Yeah, all about that, and much more. But so I can't thank you enough for spending time with us. And
thank you,
Mildred. Thank you, Guillaume, Marty, Marcus, Dietrich, everybody. Dietrich, you pulled it off.
Great show.
We got through this.
Great show.
And you know what? We should go through, and Guillaume, if you want to let us know where to find Ecolsierra, Instagram, website, some plugs.
Eleva Finca. It's the only word. We're the only one having this name, so you can find us on Instagram, ElevaFinca.com. Easiest way to find us, and on LinkedIn as well.
And spell that out for people who are just listening.
ElevaFinca, Eleva Finca.
Perfect. And then Mildred, does she have a website? Is there a place where we can see her on Instagram or
best way to contact her?
Best way to contact her?
¿Cómo contactamos a la red, Mildred? ¿Tiene un Instagram o una página web?
Tenemos la página web, claro que sí. Está la página.
¿Qué es la dirección?
La dirección, claro que sí. Y Ecolsierra es porque también es la exportadora nuestra.
Yeah, and you can also always just reach out to me at Coffee Tech Talk. I did say that. I didn't say TikTok, did I? I always get that confused. I'm like, is this a TED Talk? I don't know what it is anymore. Coffee Tech Talk Tuesdays, coffeetechcentral@gmail.com. If you need to contact Guillaume or Mildred or even Marty, you can contact me.
It's Red Ecolsierra you can find.
Yeah.
Sí.
And actually, they're doing a great
Yes.
job. I would say a great job at publicizing their organization because it was not hard to find on YouTube and a lot of great videos. So check it out. Marty, how do we get in touch with you?
workbenscoffeelabs.com. And don't forget, after the first of the year, we're going to be hammering hard on these online mini classes.
Ohm's Law.
Ohm's Law.
We're gonna meditate on that a bit. All right. Well, all right. Good night, everybody, and thank you for joining us.
Adios.
Talk to you next week.
Adiós.
Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Adiós.
Yeah, adiós.
Thank you.